Okie dokie, artichoke. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a little while since I've been able to make an appearance here in the OC esports scene at all. And I got to say, we have some exciting games lined up tonight. We have the MCOM Iron to Plat tournament. And guess what? I'm not going to do it alone. Joined by possibly one of the greatest color casters on the planet. Draz, how you going?
I'm going great, man. I've had a good month and a bit to recover and just be in my own kind of headspace. And it's my first time casting a normal game. We did some ARAMs a little while ago, but first time casting an actual Summoner's Rift game this season. I'm excited. I'm ready to hit it hard this time, Quicksand.
Yeah, look, me too, man. After seeing all the LCO action, I feel like there hasn't been that much going on in the amateur scene. So I'm really glad to see Iron to Plat's coming back. And we've even got some more tournaments coming up in a couple of weeks' time for the high relos too. But in the meantime, I mean, have you had a chance to sit down and play some League, Draz? Have you gotten a feel for the state of the game?
A little bit. Look, not in the last few weeks or last month, so I'm probably a patch or two behind. So look, we'll keep up with that. I've read some patch notes, and that's about as far as that goes. But I'm confident that we can get through this. But with playing games, yeah, a little bit at the start of the season, had an idea for kind of how preseason has changed things, so I know how that's all working through now. I am interested to actually sit here and watch a non-professional game and how players in the Iron to Plat scene are able to kind of run through and play with this new meta, though.
Yeah, I agree. Look, today we've got Triple G playing up against Revolt Wyverns in a best of 3. So as we start getting ready to jump into Champ Select, why don't we take a quick moment, Draz, to at least try to recap our knowledge on what's going on? Because in the last while, all I've seen is Asol, and you mentioned a little bit before that Annie being picked non-stop. Now, Annie is a really interesting case because I was telling you earlier before the show started that in the LCK playoffs, Annie had a 100% presence, but a 0% pick rate. She had been banned out all 33 games they've played. While Asol had less of a presence, but dude, in my solo queue games, he's been driving me nuts. I don't know how you feel about Asol, but that's how I feel about the meta right now.
I can say from experience, Asol's been my basically ban champ for every game. So I've played very limited solo queue this season so far, but he hasn't been in any of those games because I have not let it through. So that's how I feel about Asol. Like we said, Annie was on the table a little while ago. She still has a high win rate, I guess, when it comes to solo queue, but she's definitely been adjusted a little bit. Probably won't be picked up by teams unless they kind of need a fallback. And the Anivia ban is interesting. What we're expecting to see, though, more so than meta picks, is going to be comfort picks. We are into that Iron to Plat, and a player who is playing their main or one of their main champions is going to do better than a random pickup from the tier list, So I'm guessing these are targeted bans. We got the Veigar banned out. We've got the Anivia banned out so far. Looks like mid lane's being targeted.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Look, the Veigar ban coming out, all of these are probably target bans. They know the other people coming around, but Veigar has been kind of unbelievable as an ADC, even though he got nerfed in the most recent patch, where they tried to make his abilities more scaled with level. And as we know, mid lane, you level up easier. So if your scales with level, you go into the mid lane. But Veigar Senna is, I think, the most played duo in this Elo, and it's got a disgusting 55% win rate or something.
That is true, and yeah, the Veigar probably has been banned out from the bot lane. You're probably correct in saying that. One of the champs we had a really quick mention on before we popped on the stream was that Senna. I don't know if it's anyone's trio pick when it comes to these teams in this tournament, from what I've seen, not necessarily, but it's one of those champs you can always fall back on. She scales well, and if you pick up a stupid ADC like Veigar to go along with it, it can be pretty scary. But Zeri is being hovered, so there is probably no Senna coming out for that team as they're going for a Zeri hyper carry here.
Yeah, and look, Sejuani being taken out as well is really interesting because she certainly is one of the champions that has had a significantly high presence along with Vi and Wukong in most professional tournaments, but they actually got nerfed in the most recent patch too. So we're starting to see more of a variety of junglers coming out. And look, again, these teams aren't picking the most insane ultra meta 10 champions for the best of 3 non-stop, but I would like to see some different junglers come out, and I think the state of Zeri actually isn't that good. While on the other hand, Xayah, especially being paired with Rakan right now, is absolutely disgusting.
I can agree. I think Xayah is probably one of my favorite ADC picks, and they're gonna go right for it. Why wouldn't they? Look, you know, Rakan's strong as a whole. He goes great with a lot of picks, but if you've gotten that second pick Xayah there, and you kind of have that option to go for the Rakan, why not lock it in? And they've gone ahead exactly and done that. So ADC and support taken over for Revolt. Correct me if I'm wrong, actually. Sorry, what side are we looking at? I believe that's for Revolt, and then GGG looking to pick up their second champion now.
Fairly sure. Look, Xayah Rakan has just been unfathomable. Every single game I watch it, especially Rakan, he's had to take nerfs, and he's still in the meta right now. So Xayah Rakan is definitely something that I think Triple G really need to look out for. Yuumi support. Well, it's been a while since I've seen that one, Draz.
So it's been a while since you've seen that one. Have you seen the big changes that came through for Yuumi?
Please enlighten me.
So everything has changed. She is a whole different champion now, basically reworked. So just as to name a couple of things, she no longer has just a heal on ability. So she can't just spam heal like that now. She has a buddy. So basically whoever she's attached to becomes her, I guess, I don't know the exact word for it, but her buddy, and they get extra benefits if she stays attached. So there's no going over to your jungler at 20 minutes and roaming with him, because you'll start to lose out and have problems there. But also her ult's changed a little bit. Doesn't root anymore, but it slows, shoots a little bit faster. Her Q's changed. You can only control it for the first half, and then the second half it just shoots in a straight line. There's a lot of changes from Yuumi, so a very different champion coming through.
Wait, that sounds like she just got put in the dust.
No, you'd be surprised. She became one of the most broken champions in the game.
Really? I gotta say, I have not seen her around much at all, especially with the buddy system, Draz. I don't know if you know too much about it, but could you clarify to me, the Yuumi with the buddy system, can Yuumi change her buddy, or is she permanently stuck with whoever she chooses?
So she can, from my knowledge. I haven't played it since the change, but from my knowledge, it kind of stacks up when you're on someone. So if you're on your ADC for 20 minutes and then you switch to your jungler's probably not going to be your buddy for at least 10 minutes. So, you know, if you do that and your jungler's not going to get the benefits, someone in the chat's probably going to correct me because I haven't played bot lane since she got reworked. But I do know that there is that kind of best friend buddy system where she has to be attached to a specific person.
Oh, and Mordekaiser and Sign both getting banned out in the top lane on the side of Triple G. I gotta say, they both have been a little disgusting in recent games I've watched as well. Mordekaiser, especially as someone who... Look, I've been playing a lot more ADC recently, but seeing Mordekaiser come out, especially when I'm playing top lane, oh my god. Like, he just 1v1s you as Darius just the start of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. You just feel pathetic.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Mordekaiser is one of those champions that you just kind of want to stay away from if there's a chance that it gets picked up. I guess it wasn't a priority ban, but they've kind of banned out, as you can see, the mid support and ADC, and they left top open. Top didn't get picked, so they've target banned 2 top laners there. It makes perfect sense. If the top laner from Revolt is going to pick it, then I see every reason to ban it.
The Swain now getting followed up here, probably as a mid laner here, and facing up against Lissandra. I haven't seen these two that much. Swain predominantly as a support, but as a mid laner, I gotta say, I'm not too sure about that one. And Dr. Mundo as well looks like he's gonna be the final top lane pick here for Triple G.
I think Swain kind of makes sense against Lissandra. Lissandra is one of those champs that you do kind of struggle to kill in lane. She does have those tools to kind of lock you down if you make a misplay. And I think Swain almost kind of counters that in the sense of he can do the same thing. He's very hard to kill. He can lock you down if you make a misplay. I'd say mid's going to be a pretty neutral lane unless we see some jungle assistance coming through. But I think going into a Lissandra, you know, you take an assassin, for example, or a hyper carry, and you're risking falling off and not having that job work, whereas a Swain is just going to be that safer pick and is still going to be strong in the late game.
That's right. And just to confirm, I'm fairly sure it is Triple G on the blue side, right? For everyone in the audience, that's what, as far as you know, right? Yep. Draz?
As far as I know, yeah. I've pulled up. Let's double check this really quick. Yes, it is.
It is. Okay.
Awesome.
The little man in my ear just told me that it is in fact Triple G on the blue side and Revolt Wyverns on the red side.
All right, well, we're going to be in game in a few minutes, but I just want to summarize a couple of things. Looking at the Xayah Rakan, the Zeri Yuumi, I want to see how the Yuumi performs, specifically with the Zeri. I'm sure you're excited to see the changes, but I've got to give that one to Xayah Rakan. I think the focus is going to be on the bot lane. You got a Lissandra in the mid, you got a Kled in the top lane against the Mundo, so they're going to look to be reasonably safe. And although Xayah and Rakan kind of can play safe or aggressive, I think the focus, at least for Revolt, is going to be on this bot lane. I'm interested to see with the Jarvan and the Swain what GGG can kind of do to counter that, though.
And, well, that's the thing, right? Jarvan locked in kind of doesn't get to play the game because Lissandra has the ability to escape his cage. Xayah can escape. Rakan can escape. Kled, if he ults or... Well, I'm not sure if his ult will go through the cage, but it's basically... Jarvan's ult is kind of not the most effective if Xayah has flash or her ult up, which is pretty disappointing as a Jarvan. I know as a Jinx player, whenever I'm faced up against Jarvan, it's just like, oh, I guess I won't play the game because he just jumps in and locks you down. But on the other hand, Vi has a better chance to try and get. Oh, it's a cease and desist as a role, right?
Oh god, don't put me on the spot like this. Quicksand, it's been a while. But I know what you're talking about. She can kind of find a way out. She can, lock someone down inside, or she can just queue out. So
hold on, we're getting a bit of controversy here of whether or not the Xyl can go through the cage. I'm actually quite curious. I gotta search this one up? Quick, Draz.
That's a great question. Yeah, no, you know what? It's. I know she can go over certain obstacles. She can go over like traps and roots and things like that on the ground and not get caught. The wall is a good question. They might be calling you out there.
Because it can't go over walls in general. Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, my apologies, everyone. I'm sorry for getting that wrong. No.
You know what? In a way, it still like works in her favor, right? Because she can still ult, makes her invulnerable for a small period of time, and then anyone inside that cage with her, for example, Jarvan, if she's got the Rakan to back her up, is just going to get blown straight up.
Mm-hmm. So it does make it a little more difficult for Xayah. Look, dude, I swear, she like jumps up and flies in the air. How is she not making it over that
Like
wall?
I said, I think you can, go over like Jinx Chompers. I'm probably going to call out the chat for this one now too, but like, Jinx Chompers and whatever else is on the ground, I think. Traps, Caitlyn Traps, for example, but again, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I guess being terrain, it's not going to happen with the Jarvan. I still don't know who he's really going to look to lock down because he does catch that Xayah out. She's going to ult. Lissandra's going to go in. Vi's going to go in. Rakan's going to follow up, give the shield, ult everyone, knock them all up. They have a very strong wombo if only one person is to get caught out. And really, that's what Jarvan's probably only going to be able to achieve here.
Yeah, which is fairly solid, to be honest, for the Jarvan. He's going to get a chance this time after my misstep to lock down the Xayah here. Well, on the other hand, it's just, like you said, the bot lane for the side of Revolt is actually so strong. Like Xayah and Rakan are two champions that we see just absolutely dominate the meta right now. I think it's a fairly even split between the teams. I'm certainly leaning towards the Wyvern draft here, but I think for the moment we can get some predictions on how this game is going to go after we come out from the break. So we're going to jump to one just quickly, dive into our game, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
See you then.
And welcome back, everybody. We finally had the chance to take a little bit of a breather, I had plenty of time to relax. I hope you all did as well in that brief 2-minute period while we loaded into the game. We finally get to see the first match here between Triple G and Revolt Wyverns. I'm joined here once again with the wonderful Draz, and we've just had a chance to discuss what we thought of the teams, but we didn't get a chance to say how we thought the games were going to go. Look, I don't think it's fair for us to try and overall guess the best of three just because we don't know the teams that well. I don't know about you, Draz, but personally, I haven't met many of these people. But for this game, I think I'm going to hand it over to the red side for Wyverns for their victory, just off the draft. What are you thinking, Draz?
Yeah, I think the draft for red side makes the most sense here. We were talking about the Xayah Rakan already. The mid lane is relatively neutral. I think that probably could go in the favor of Jay on the Swain. But outside of that, I honestly feel like, Vi, she's been strong recently. You've got that strong bot lane. You've got a mid lane who can kind of deny, protect, and lock down, can do a little bit of everything. And then a top laner who is also a little bit of an all-rounder. And just provides a little bit more engaged for both that Vi and the Rakan. So I think a well-rounded team overall. I think looking at GGG here, you've got more of a delay and let Zeri pop off kind of a comp. But I think this is going to be very hard to do against what red side have drafted here.
And something I really want to bring up as well is the fact that Vi's getting locked in here is really interesting because, I mean, she is still one of the best junglers in the game. But with the recent changes she's faced in the patch, she's had to become much more focused on a single avenue. The reason Vi was so powerful is because, bro, she could soak up damage and then just send it right back. She was like a sponge. It was pretty disgusting. So they decided to change her base damage for her Q and her E. So they do less damage overall, but they scale better with AD. So whether or not Out West here, who's sitting on the Vi for the side of Wyverns, is going to opt into either, which I expect to be tank, actually matters a lot more now due to the patch changes.
It's a really good question, and I haven't seen a lot of I guess diverse builds come through, and so I don't have a huge sample size to kind of pull an answer from there. But look, I'll say Vi is just strong as a whole. Her damage is stupid. Her tankiness is strong. Her kit is what's really important. And if you can play Vi correctly, you can just be a menace. And I think if that's still being done, then she's still going to be a threat.
Yeah, that's right. Look, Draz, do you think you can entertain us a bit more on the idea of the bot lane here? Because I'd like to hear when you think that these guys are going to get their chances to spike and fight against each other.
Yeah, that's a tough one because both Xayah and Zeri, they do kind of want to scale. Xayah can start to peak around the 1 to 2 items if she can get a pick specifically because of the Rakan. And I think given that there is a Yuumi there, there's a lot of opportunity to find a pick. You know, if Yuumi detaches for whatever reason, or if you can kind of lock down just the Zeri on her own, Yuumi can't really do a whole lot to help. They can look for a pick maybe once they start to hit 6, 7 and build an item. Otherwise, I really don't see an opportunity where without a gank that the Zeri and Yuumi can probably do much. So I'd say look first item, look level 6, level 7. You have a gank coming through here though.
Here. Oh, he's making a sneaky play there, but no engage. That sucks. Oh, what the hell? Vital is going to come down here on Poppy. The Ignite comes down, and it's just going to tick away. Poppy won't go down, but that came out of nowhere.
Wow, I think it's Poppy, by the way, just to come through on that. With the little accent there makes it look like an, oh, you're good there, Quicksand. But yeah, look, that surprised me. But I believe that's how bot lane's going to go. I think Jarvan's going to really try and set something up for Zeri and Yuumi if he can, but otherwise, Xayah Rakan just win this all the way home.
Yeah, we're going to ping out here too. Jarvan and Vi both threatening the mid lane and top lane respectively, as they're both going to be forced to back here. A very steady start to the game right now. Vital's managed to take control of the top lane here and has almost doubled Puppy's CS already, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive and no discredit. Of course, it's entirely to do with the play that happened earlier, but he's really just set himself up. There's not a lot of work that needed to be done past that little trade there. I mean, Ghost was blown, Ignite was blown for Vital, but I'm sure he's happy with that because he has that lane dominance now, that lane pressure. Up, as we said, 10 CS. He's backed. He's coming straight back to lane. He's going to walk there as well. It doesn't even need... He doesn't have TP, but he doesn't even need it. And I think that lane's going really well for Vital in the top lane, so... Working out there. Bot lane's actually a little bit more even than I expected, but they did have a little bit of Jarvan assistance to help apply some pressure.
Swain now uses teleport to head mid lane, as Lissandra was starting to look for a back there, but forced to stay as Swain's come up quickly. Chemtech Drake finally spawned here on the Rift, meaning that whichever team can find priority right now will be able to take that Chemtech, which right now with Vi trying to secure some vision, might just be the red side.
Yeah, Vi is down there. Jarvan's not too far away, and Vi just started it back in the river, so I don't know if that was an accident, but if she resets, it could go either way. Probably looking to apply a little bit more pressure on the map, though. Doesn't have any vision to really try anything. But I do want to look at CS across the board. We see the top lane still has a CS lead, despite the, Kled having backed there. Mid lane has a 15 CS lead, and bot lane's looking pretty even, so going pretty well for Revolt here.
Super solid, as well as Lissandra being able to hold her own here against the Swain. As you mentioned, Draz, earlier, it's just going to be a really steady lane from not only the, I was going to say top side as well, but it looks like Vital is showing us a bit more of a dangerous side right now. Getting pushed up here by Puppy as our bot lane stays steady, and Jarvan gets his chance to start pathing down towards here. But Vi has been sitting under the turret for the red side here. So there's a lot to watch out for. This lane gank may be very, very unexpected for Bristle Rider as he starts setting up to look for a gank here.
Now, the problem here is I think the first team to engage this is the team that actually loses, and I think Out West has put himself in a position where it could be him. Jarvan backing up and Bax coming around, though, so it might have just been more of an insurance play than a proactive one, though Out West has been spotted.
Backs have been cancelled here as Xayah and Rakan can do their Lover's Recall, and Vi wants nothing to do with this. Leaving immediately as now Contestion once again comes up for Drake as Lissandra's trying to force some vision here. But as you said, Draz, this bot lane has been looking a lot more stable than we imagined, which means Prio has been really hard to find though. Bristle Rider wants to come down. No chance being found here as Jay's being caught out, and Vibe, that's a perfect gank for first blood here. Straight into the hands of Duco.
Yeah, that worked out perfectly. So what you would have seen there, Jarvan hovered bot. I believe he popped in the vision for a short period there. And bot lane were able to just kind of play on that edge to keep in bot, keep the attention there. And mid made a play, and it looks like they're going for another one.
Yeah, forced out. Bristle Rider just didn't get a chance there as they looked for a really strong play here, which not only forced the Jarvan away from the pit, but has also given them a chance to take Prio. Out West deciding to back here, though, as Bristle Rider knows the danger of that dragon being taken and wants to reclaim some of the vision.
Yeah, vision is going to be key, especially because of the mid lanes here. So as we mentioned, well, look, really, it's going quite well for Lissandra. She's 1 kill up and she's 20 CS up, so she does have quite a large advantage. But otherwise, like I said, reasonably neutral champions that just want to play their lane. And if they find an opportunity, they'll take it. So vision is part of those key opportunities. And if one team has more vision on the map, that mid laner can push, they can rotate, they can get priority for that. So vision is going to be very important in that bot side river at the moment.
Well, on the note of vision right now, it looks like the Wyverns are dominating the river vision right now. Just a little bit more than what Triple G have right now. Another skirmish here on the top side. Vital needs to take it steady. He's almost got his steed back, but it hasn't arrived in time. Oh, Lightless just in the perfect spot to catch Stewie there. Not much can happen, but you get another, just a sneak preview of those Yuumi changes if you haven't seen them yet. Draz, you mentioned it was the Q right that you lose control of after the second half of the flight path?
Yeah, so you can control it kind of a little bit, and then it turns into like a faster missile and just shoots off in a straight line wherever it was left kind of at the end of that duration. Ooh, this is scary for Vital here with Bristle Rider.
Vital, can he get away here?
Flash,
he's going to use the flash, use the chain, and Bristle Rider pretty much just gave up the dragon for the sake of that gank and couldn't catch it. Instead, he wants to head over to the Rift Herald. A decent chance of capturing it, but out west, immediately moving down to the mid lane, keeps Jay under pressure. Vital forced to back though, means he can't help with the contestation for this Rift Herald. This is going to pan out very steadily and probably straight into the hands of Bristle Rider here.
You know, I don't think it will. Dayuko has so much pressure in the mid lane that they kind of can force this off. There is a jungler nearby too, and Vital's coming rather close. I think it's at the point where, yeah, they're probably going to pick it up, but it was a little bit risky, and oh, it could go either way.
Ooh, the Smite Fight comes down, and it's barely taken down as Poppy is going to be forced out of the fight, while Jay, now all alone on the front lines, he may be able to catch his Vi out, but his health is taken down too fast, and a cleaver from Poppy is going to be the only victory that the red side takes on that one.
Pretentious also just taking him one step too far forward there, gets hit again, and really close to dying, which is would have been a huge problem for bot lane. Funnily enough, this Zeri Yuumi is doing... Why are you staying?
Oh no. Why? Pretentious, you got a back, man! Okay, there it is. Finally coming out. Yeah, finally coming out together. A so risky from the ADCs.
Look, it's great to see a lot of stuff happening on the top side of the map here for Revolt. I was really expecting both the Vi and the Lissandra to kind of look bot lane. I think Zeri is, if you can lock her down, a very easy target to kill, and Yuumi becomes useless on her own. So I would have thought that would have been where their focus was. They've moved it to the top side. They've picked up 3 kills from 1 on the top side of the map, but that has left their bot lane kind of falling behind. They're down in CS. They have to back here. They're going to lose probably a wave, maybe 2. And Bristle's put a little bit more pressure down bot than I expected to see as well.
Yeah, this is really awful for the red side bot lane, to be honest. I think Revolt, they wanted to get back as fast as they could, but they've had their back cancelled, like, not once, but probably twice, which is really, really awful, is they're just forced to shove the wave out, and there you go. Look, their wave is just pushed into the tower, and they lose the whole thing, which sucks. And that shows the lane prior has just been tackled away by Triple G here. Next Dragon, still a steady while up, but the lead being held here by the side of Revolt.
They are still holding the lead, yes. Bot lane, however, not holding, I guess, as big of a lead as we would have expected. If anything, so bot lane is behind, but the gold distribution on the rest of the map, with the kills, with the CS, 25 up in mid, a little bit up in the top lane as well, and the kill advantages there. But Revolt's still doing very well for themselves. Dragon on the board as well. And who did pick up that Herald before? Okay, so it is over to Puppy in the top lane.
Yeah, that's right. I was a bit unsure too, but Puppy's managed to pick up the Rift Herald. And look, Draz, at the point we're at right now in the game, it feels like Zeri is getting what she wants, but Xayah might not be scaling as effectively as she should. Is there another center here for the side of Revolt? Oh, as Vital here wants to look down on Puppy. Puppy's really liking this engagement and tries to force Vital to not run away. The shotgun gives him distance, as well as the ignite coming down again. Puppy successfully resists, extinguishes the flame, and gets to settle back in the lane with Vital. And as long as he doesn't get his steed back, he's going to be in a really tough spot. Brittle Rider, oh my god. He's caught out in the Wild West by Out West and has been sent out back to be buried. Poor Bristle was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, man.
That was a nice play there. It was coordinated very well. They picked up a kill on the jungler. That's going to allow them to put a little bit more pressure back down on the map. I would have liked to have seen something pushed towards the bot side, but I guess there's not a lot of opportunity right now. Yeah, it looks like just through the Vi. We mentioned how strong the Vi is as a whole, and kind of if you know what you're doing with it, you can be an absolute menace. She is doing that, so maybe they're not too afraid of Zeri getting too strong here because they know they can just kill her later.
So as I was mentioning earlier, before I was rudely interrupted by a battle happening, yeah, where else can Wyverns look instead of their bot lane right now? Well, as they try to make an attempt here, Lightless is going to come down on Stewie, but Stewie's got his mindset just on Pretentious, going to keep flanking and finally positions to slow down Lightless. That Yuumi ult ever so different, ever so changed, just can't get the root down, and just because of that, it means that they're not going to get a kill locked down there. That's going to hurt.
It does have to hurt, and I'll wait till this mid-fight's over to give you my summary there, but oh, the damage coming through.
Please
scary stuff happening everywhere. I mean, I don't want to get too in depth here when we got fights happening in every lane. Herald spawned in the top too. I think we're okay though. I don't think anything's gonna happen. I don't think
I think we're okay.
Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, the Vi is 2-1 at the moment. She with the Lissandra has been locked down, and here's what I wanted to see.
He's charged it up. Lightless is going to take the risk to zoom in again, but Stewie just gets the chance to hop on the wall. Scarl comes out, and the speed boost isn't enough to give Vital the confidence to challenge Puppey.
I think realistically at this point, with the lead that we've got both in the jungle and the mid lane, I think it's Lissandra and Vi just have to roam around and push leads. I think that's kind of their opportunity now. They've like I said, they've got that lead, they're 2k gold up, they've got that dragon, they've got that momentum, and they just need to keep it going.
Yeah, that's right. And look, I think they're looking towards the dragon once again. Juko's come down to secure control of that bot river. As soon as he has his jungler coming to support him, I mean, he's going to be pretty much unkillable. But has he gone up too far? The damage is dishing out heavily here as he's managed to lock Stewie inside a prison and take him out. Bristle Rider has looked to come down right here, and a double comes down to Juko as they're freezing him in place, and that's a triple kill without a single loss for the side of Revolt. And
yeah,
now
I think Jay's just dead here too.
He wants Juko, and Juko might be the first victim here. Barely dodges that grasp from Jay.
He dies!
He got picked there. Draz, what was that took down Lissandra?
I didn't see it. I mean, you know, we could have all suspected maybe it was I guess a W coming out from Swain, but I guess, yeah, maybe a burn as well. Leandri's is probably what did it, but that was a big burst of damage that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, must have been that W, and it's done a really good job. Look, Jay, in a pretty lightless situation, has found some room to get a pick back, but Revolt off that fight has just put themselves in such a disgusting position. Up by 3,000 gold, as well as another Drake in hand. Using that fight, they've really set themselves ahead of the crowd, and it looks like Lissandra is going to be the key character of this game.
Yeah, Lissandra 3-1, Vi 3-1. I want to push down to the fact that Xayah has finally picked up her first kill, but hasn't got the mythic on the board yet. I did say when she hits that first item spike, you can see kind of how scary she can be. If either Juko or Out West decide to push any kind of pressure into the bot lane, I think that they can really take the Xayah, take her home pretty much, get the kills, kind of win the game through it. But they have a lot of avenues right now. As you said, 2 dragons, 3k gold up, mid lane scary, jungle scary, top lane's holding his own. They're in a pretty comfortable spot.
I think it's also really important to point out that Lissandra has kind of completely shut Jay out of the game. Juko is about 40 CS above their laner, which is a little nuts. And that means that Jay's pick that he got there is so essential because he hasn't had a chance to get on anywhere near as much gold as Juko.
Yeah, and we briefly mentioned earlier, you know, Swain can play safe and kind of scale up. He's died 3 times at 16 minutes here, and so he is going to scale up, but he hasn't played very safe.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to dive here. The Rift Herald comes out though. Get the charge on that mid tower. May lead to a dive here, or trying to force a shutdown on that tower.
I think they're just going to grab the tower and call it quits, maybe. Yeah, there we go. That was the first turret as well, so perfect play coming out.
Nice and steady, but Bristle Rider is going to be the one to decide to put some pressure here on the bot side.
TP's coming through.
The Lovers duo knew, and a teleport comes down to fight back. Juko, not a teleport that was too necessary, but they may be able to make something out of this play instead, turning a need into a want. The tower getting shattered down, and that's already 2 towers straight into the sides of the Wyverns.
Yeah, look, it's now become a 4v4 in the bot lane. Tower was picked up, don't know if it needed 4 people and was worth a TP, but nonetheless, that's now 2 towers on the board over 4 Revolt Wyverns and nothing on the board for GGG here.
Vital wants something here though. He's almost lost Scarl. He's barely staying at top of it, and they're going to let her loose there. But as you said, 2 towers already is a massive lead to take, and despite Lissandra being down a teleport, I'd say that's pretty bloody worth it.
Yeah, again, we mentioned it before, but Revolt's sitting really comfortably right now.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of avenues they can take, and they pretty much just need to not make, I guess, crucial mistakes here. They can make a little mishap here or there. All of their players are in a position where they can probably recover from it. But if we see, you know, crucial misjudgment coming out and misplays, then they'll be in trouble.
No, Draz, you forgot we were playing League of Legends, man. The #1 game to make mistakes in, as Out West has come down for the gank on Vital. Vital doesn't have Skull, but it doesn't matter. Steadily building it up, and Puppey just can't find room to take it away. And not only does Skull come back, but a kill also comes back into Out West's hands.
Yep. Out West 4-1, very scary. I did mention that this Vi knows what she's doing. She can pop off. She's gone, you know, that little bit tanky, a little bit on the damage, went for Cleaver. Makes sense. Look at who she's against, and she is looking scary. Oh, Juko though.
Looking for W's here, and they just haven't landed. As Zaya's forced to use a Feather Storm, and Lightless trying to use a Charm to save away. But it looks like Juko was there at right place at the right time. Gets Stewie down as well. And can they turn around for more? Bristle Rider is getting shot down here, but Yuumi doesn't have that companion like you mentioned. So Lightless is going to shut down Bristle Rider, and Bristle Rider pushed down. Lightless, can he make it away? It's going to be a huge double here. Yuumi taking one though, and Juko, can he turn around on Jay here? He may not be able to make the distance, but the Demonic Ascension is gone. Forcing away onto Jay. Oh, Jay, he's still alive! The Yuumi Q may just force Juko to this point. No, you can't keep looking. Out West is going to come down, and Jay knows where he has to land this. Yuumi, the shutdown! The shutdown of Lissandra! That's so greedy! You've got to get out of there! And Out West has got one, and he's pretty much guaranteed himself too. But look, Juko, mate, you did not have to go down there.
Juko did not have to go down. That was a 300 gold shutdown that went over. Sure, Out West picked up 2 kills, but you gotta ask yourself, was it worth it? Now Juko not on the board for another 20 seconds as well, and Dragon is coming up. He will be up in time for that Dragon, but yeah, you've kind of put yourself in a weird position on the map now.
Yeah, look, it's a little awkward, but Juko's managed to get away with it. It is going to be an Ocean Rift now as well. Meaning that we're going to see a lot more brushes, a lot more chances for sneaky plays here coming down from Lightless to lock people down, but Bristle gets the same advantage. As Vital, when he's faced up against Puppey's ultimate, still kind of useless. So this top lane is in such a steady state, they're going to try and stop Puppey from backing, because Vital has the Ignite, not backing, teleporting, because Vital doesn't have the teleport himself. We may be looking at a 4v4 here down at the Dragon, as it's completely being taken up here by the Wyverns.
Yeah, well, you can see Puppey backing up. He does look like he wants to TP, but there's just too much pressure coming out from Vital, who is going to get Scar back shortly. I think it's best for them to just give this up here. I know it's going to give the soul point, but I don't think there's a lot of choice in the damage.
Oh my god, the steal! Wait, what? Bristle Riders?
It was the steal.
They've decided to engage right off the steal of the Dragon. Interesting decision, as Bristle's going to go down. Lightless getting traded 1-for-1, as Stewie is forcing his way through the crowd, and he refuses to give up the pace. Puppey yet to go down, and Out West is going to face up against a 1v2 here. Stewie has gotten a massive chance to turn around, but yet to pick up a single kill.
Look, great in terms of, you know, the steal set that soul point behind a little bit, but what have you done? You've just made Vi 8-1 as if she wasn't scary enough already.
Oh no, 8-1, Draz. Oh.
8-1, and what's come out? The Eclipse. We talked about the 80 scalings. We talked about, is she going to go tanky? Is she going to go for damage? She built the Cleaver. She was sensible. Now she's got the lethality, and Pretentious is just going to fall here.
Yep, Stewie finally getting the first kill that he was looking for so desperately. His support instead picking up 3 kills on top of that. So I got to say, this Zeri is finally getting the chance to be put back into this game. The kill gap pretty similar to a 6,000 gold lead. Juko's taking a pretty risky fight here. He's strong enough to blow Stewie down if he gets a chance. And once put inside that Glacial Prism, there's not... Sorry, that's not a Glacial Prism. That's a different ability. Shut down as Stewie getting killed here. It's just Yuumi all alone.
Oh, they're just toying with her at this point. Oh, no,
man.
they're just toying with her. If that Q comes out, though, it can do some deadly damage. Never mind. Juko gonna pick that up. And...
Wait, correct. So, Glacial Prism isn't Lissandra's ability, right? That's Sejuani's. Do we know
dude,
Lissandra's
don't question
alt name?
this stuff. Lissandra's ult's Frozen 2.
Oh, no. That's it. My apologies.
Yes,
I knew it was one or the other here. As Bled is going to get a chance to see some action here. Trying to jump down on top of Jay, and oh my god! Yo, this Swain's so far behind, man!
Yeah, look, I'm kind of eating my words here. I said that the Swain can have a stale lane and pull back in, but you know, maybe I'm not eating my words. Maybe they've locked in Swain. They've thought this is a good pick. It can play neutral, and he just hasn't really fit the bill there. I'm looking right now, and it's not a champion that Jay generally plays. So I think maybe picked up for the right reasons, played for the wrong reasons.
And something really interesting to point out is we've only just seen Heel Cut finally come up in the hands of Vi to try. Oh, actually, no, we've also seen Lightless taking it, but that isn't being distributed very well. But the lack of Heel Cut coming out, especially facing up against a Swain, a Mundo, and a Yuumi, is this due to them just being so far ahead, or is this something that they need to look towards to really shut Triple G out of the game?
I don't know if it matters at this point.
Yeah.
I think it's just grasping at straws, really, to be honest. There's a lot of things they can try, and it just doesn't really look like GGG is going to be able to do much right now. There's an 11 kill lead. There is, what are we looking at? A 8k gold lead. There's a 2 dragon lead. I think,
dude,
again,
the way you're
going back to
it sounds so grim. Oh.
It is grim. Going back to the point I made before, unless Revolt makes a stupid mistake, they have, I mean, maybe like this, but they have really set themselves up for this game. And, you know, Bristle right over ambitious.
He's completely wasted Bristle's ult, man. Well, that's handy. No, now would be a really good time to take a fight, as Pretentious doesn't really have to worry about probably the biggest threat to his life right now.
Yeah, and Bristle, sitting
I
on
want
a
to take
ward.
it. Oh, alright, bye, mate.
Just to correct myself, I've had another second look here. So Jay has played Swain a little bit in solo queue, so I guess the playstyle is taken here isn't what I would have expected, but he should know what he's doing on this champion, so maybe just a rough lane tonight.
Oh man, dude, I'm so hungry. My dad just came home with like burger deliveries and put chips right next to my face.
Oh.
So just know for the next rest of the game, I'll be inhaling the odor of some freshly crinkle cut potato chips. And that may or may not impede my casting ability.
Look, we know Quicksand's definitely rooting for Revolt here because they could end the game any second, so he can munch down on that food. Sorry, I'll let you take it from here, Quicksand.
He's turned it around, and maybe with Jay's Demonic Ascension, they got a chance to settle it down here. They've managed to successfully force away the red side, and Jugo ult's be taken down. The Zonya's going to steadily keep him in game, and there we go. Stewie, the one person who needs to shut down most, gets the pickup. Vital steadily staying in the backline, and they're going in one by one. Single file execution into the hands of Triple G, and they're finding a way to turn it around. Lightless getting face down by Poppy, and a double kill into the hands of Bristle Rider. What was that?
What? Wow. Look, a little bit of a sloppy fight, but the problem I have here is that as much as it's easy to win when you have kills on a Vi, on a Lissandra, you get into a team fight like that, and it's much easier for them to misplay with those carries, which is exactly what happened. Lissandra got caught out. Vi tried to pick up a kill, got a 1-for-1, but you know, she's 8-1, she's their carry, she can't risk trading one kill. And then you have Pretentious, who's kind of doing his job, but he's just not strong enough. He's only 2-3.
That's right, dude. But like I said, it was kind of like a single file meat grinder, man.
It was played very poorly, yes.
They are going to have to find a way to circle around or try to find a different way to combat this through skirmishes. But now they're getting the chance to face down on the dragon here. Puppy's gone up a bit too far, and Triple G, they really just want to get this dragon and they want to leave. They're not exactly in a position. Their cooldowns have just been exhausted, so taking this dragon and leaving, definitely the best move. But on the top of that, I mean, Triple G just won an incredible fight. How do they want to play around this? Do they want to bring that kind of fight about again? What is it they want to try and take this game away?
I think definitely, look, first off, very crucial, reset, get your items, get ready, because you do have an open inhib in the mid lane, and so be prepared for a fight kind of coming back into your base. I don't think after losing that fight, Revolt's going to back up. They're probably going to look to make a similar play, and I hope it goes a little bit better, maybe go back to the drawing board and kind of change up the approach, but still go for the same goal. They were in the base, like I mentioned, they're around the corner from winning the game if that fight went well, so they're not going to want to falter away from that. I think what GGG needs to do is hammer down on that again, look for a pick, play slow, and they could have one here on Vital.
Poppy right now really does have the lead on Vital. Whether or not he gets Skull back in time, which is very quickly, Poppy still has room back into this game. He has just used his ult, that health regeneration coming straight through the roof and a teleport. It's going to be a 3v1 here on Vital. As you mentioned, they know how important these picks are. And Vital, though not extremely ahead. Taking him down will make a change in the fight. Oh no, Stewie. Oh, he's going to get caught right inside the glacier. And there's no way out. The Yumi goes down as well, and that is so bad for them.
That is really bad for them. They picked up one, and that's exactly what they needed, one kill, to give them that advantage to look for more picks safely. And they've traded one away. So, well, they've traded two away, sorry. Which, like I mentioned, is going to give Revolt that opportunity to go for that inhib, which is exactly what they want. They had their eyes set on it, and they knew what they needed to do to get it.
Curse of the ADC, man. You just try to walk somewhere safely and somewhat unsafely, and then you get taken down. And the consequences are very, very obvious. Jay doesn't manage to get anyone, though he got very close. Then now it's just Poppy all alone, who's going to try and defend the end of this game, and he might actually have a chance. I got to say, these guys are not wealthy in their health right now. Oh, Zeri, hello? What?
Okay.
Juko is going to get taken down by the turret shot, but Yui's been wiped off the map. I'm lost for words, man. I really thought that they had a chance to turn it around here on the Nexus push, but it looks like they were steady enough, they were strong enough, and Juko was certainly strong enough at 9 and 5 to get the shutdown on the one person who really made an impact in the last fight, which was Stewie.
Yeah, and look, I'm looking at gold damage graphs now, and Juko really was that carry. 36,000 damage, nearly 37,000 damage coming through. We knew how much of a menace he was, and you know what really came kind of shining through for GGG in that second last fight was that they picked off Juko early. So like I said, you know, they get the pick. Unfortunately, this time they got her on Vital, and if they regrouped, they might have had a chance. They could have then looked to kill Lissandra and get that pick on Lissandra in a safer environment in a 4v5. Unfortunately, Zeri got picked up, Yumi got picked up, and that means that's pretty much Revolt could have just done exactly what their plans were that last fight. So the fact that they hammered down on that goal, they knew what they needed to do, they came back, they got the pick that they needed and gave themselves the advantage and ended the game off, means that they weren't kind of set back from that initial kill, and they knew what they were doing.
So what you basically summarizes, Juko got that dog in him, is what you're trying to say.
We can run with that. I think just to add to it though is that GG maybe got a little bit over ambitious after picking up the Lissandra, after picking up Juko in the second last fight. They saw that they picked up the Kled and thought, you know, this is the same advantage. It's not. The Lissandra had done more than double Kled's damage and was a whole different beast.
So moving into the next game, as you said, Juko, certainly the spotlight should be on him. Keep your eyes peeled, and at the same time, follow the hesitancy and maybe the recklessness of Triple G, because that's somewhat what cost them the game there, especially Stewie with that unfortunate jungle adventure that he made where he just got caught out by a bush cheese. But as an ADC, those are risks you can't afford to make, especially that late in the game. My stomach hurts because I keep smelling these chips, so I might take a quick break just to eat them. You guys do that too. You can have some, just, yeah. In the meantime, enjoy. And yeah, that's all I'm giving you. And we're going to jump to a quick break so I get the chance to enjoy it. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the break for the second game.
See you there.